Welcome everyone to the first episode of Bauble Talk with our guests Debbie and Jenna Newton from Kenzies of London. I just want to tell you a little bit about why we chose Kenzies. We feel that when it comes to molded glass, there is nobody doing molded glass as exciting, as well detailed, as well priced as Kenzies of London. When you look at the use of color, when you look at the attention to detail when it comes to their figural faces, when you really take a look at their spinners and the glitter work on those spinners, it is absolutely above all of their competition. So I'm excited that you guys get to hear from Debbie and Jenna. I know they have some surprises for us today. They're going to show us some new designs and what's coming up. And enjoy this first episode. And without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Debbie and Jenna and Kenzies of London.
The first thing I did was look for ornaments that were important to me. Because the ornaments were so old to begin with, most of the designs that we had were irreplaceable. And so I started my journey to find manufacturers that could design ornaments like I grew up with and some of the things that were important to me. So that's really how I got started. As I mentioned, I am an advanced degree nurse. I went through nursing school, did my college down at George Washington University in DC. But prior to that, I was in the entertainment industry. I worked for the team of Liza Minnelli, not Liza directly, but Liza Minnelli's team. After that, I went to work for another British celebrity. And so I was surrounded by the arts continually. And that, you will see, is really the impetus behind a lot of the designs that we come out with. I love color. I love things that you won't find on the beaten path. Our Santas look different. Our snowmen look different. We really felt that we needed a new take on some of the designs that had been out there for a very long time. Nothing against anybody else that does the traditional Santa. That just wasn't the area that I was going in. A little bit more about me. I'm married to a fabulous Brit. I won't tell you how long, because then that'll out me as to really how old I am. I have 3 children. My oldest was a wrestling promoter and worked with the WWE. Very adventurous, a lot like his mom, a little outspoken. My middle is a lot like his dad, quiet, if you will. Those are the ones you got to watch. And he worked for Howard Stern for a number of years and John Lieberman, and did voice overture in New York City. And now he owns a skateboard company. And my youngest, who you'll see on here, Jenna Newton, I'm going to turn it over to her to introduce herself. I warn you, she's humble. She's not like her mom. She'll never tell you all the things that she's done. But Jen, over to you if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be on this call and to speak with you. It's quite an honor. And again, thank you so much for the kind words that you showed us earlier. So I am the best of both worlds. She got it right when she had me, and then she stopped. Very humble, very humble. So it's not something I would say about myself, but many people say it about me. So I am in marketing. If you speak with somebody, one of our team, if you get an email, if you get a customer service email, I am likely the one that will be the person that you talk to. So I am in marketing. I have been in marketing for the past 15 years. I actually started a cookie company, was very well known in the food industry for very colorful cookies, very colorful, inventive designs. If you see a comic book style cookie or a black outline cookie, that is my contribution to the food world. That came from me. And that's not me being humble, but it's the truth. So while I was doing that with cookies, I taught myself how to code websites and do marketing online. And I was very early and advanced in that at the time, and continued developing that, got into marketing, ended up working with Blue Zones and the National Geographic. And today I work with a very well-known company out in Silicon Valley doing their entire marketing strategy. And by night, I work with Kenzies of London, building a vast ornament empire. So I am the logistical and web development person of the team. I would like to say that I'm a part of the ornament designs, but that is all my mom. She is an incredible designer, and I'm just kind of there to help her and support her and in everything that she does. So that's my background.
Well, Jen is humble. I will tell you that she's been on the Food Network. She was offered a position on Sweet Genius and she didn't take it. So she's very well known in the food industry, and she's also a prolific writer. She had the #1 bestseller for 14 weeks and knocked Leah Remini off of the first spot, her Scientology book. So just some FYI with her. She's very well read, and she's got it together. And between my husband and I, we're lucky if we can recite the alphabet. So the fact that we have one that can write and is so articulate, that's a cool thing. So as I mentioned to you, I got my start while I was going to school through the entertainment industry. And that's why you'll notice some of our designs are the hat tip to Broadway, because as you know, Ms. Minnelli, that was her thing, stepping out, Liza with a Z. So a lot of my designs are a tip of the hat to Broadway. It's important to me. In addition to that, growing up when I was raising my kids, my closest and dearest friend, her husband was the designer for all the Broadway plays. So we spent a fair amount of time going into New York, watching Broadway plays and the excitement and the lights. New York, even though I'm living in Florida now, New York still has my heart, and the East Coast. So, and I get up there as often as I possibly can. So about Kenzies. So I was on this journey to find ornaments that either reminded me of the ones that had disappeared, and then also see if I could recreate some of the designs that were important to me. I was not a collector per se of ornaments of what was out there. There were things that I liked and I would buy one here or there, but I wanted unique things. I wanted things on my tree that were little pieces of art, something that if you came to look at my tree, you would say, wow, that's neat, or look at the colors on this. So I put my feelers out and I started to work with a manufacturer in Poland. Ags heard me say this earlier. There's great manufacturers all over the world. My favorite is Poland, and that's who I choose to work with, and I work with them exclusively. And to me, they are the cream of the crop. That's my personal opinion. And some of the things that they've been able to do and the designs really take your breath away. So I'm very honored that that's where my ornaments come from. You know, we do have a pretty big base all across Europe and Asia that purchase the ornaments, but mine are made in Poland. I will tell you that when I first started getting into designing ornaments, I attended a conference in Germany. And of course, I had bright colors and wonky, whimsical designs. And we had a couple that owned a pretty well-known store. And they came over to the booth and they said to me, oh, no, we would never buy anything like this. It's so Las Vegas. And I thought, there you go. There's my inspiration. So a lot of my designs, I always equate to Las Vegas. Very bright, shining, colors are fabulous and out there. And I like that. Interestingly, I was in Germany about 4 weeks ago, and the same couple, fast forward a couple of years, they were the first one at my booth when we got there. So we must have been approved by them, because the first thing they did was put through a very large order. So that was interesting. So the company itself is based in Florida. I do have warehouses here. I do have one up north in New York, where I have another residence. And between the two places, that's where we store a lot of our ornaments. I do have a warehouse in Poland that holds on to my designs. You will find what we do differently at Kenzies too is there's really no prepay needed. Everything that I sell, I buy ahead of time so that when you order something, you get it right away. That's my take on it. I hate paying for something and having to wait weeks to get it. So I've put the money out, the investment out, because I want everybody that buys from me to get their items right away. That's just the way that I roll. Let me see what else I can tell you about us. Jen, am I missing anything about Kenzies that you can think of?
No, we just really are very transparent. We try to be honest in all our dealings, and it's one of the reasons why we outlay the cash ahead of time and have the stock ahead of time, so that we're always there in case there's an issue, in case you need something right away. We're always there to have it in store, in stock at all times.
True. The other thing that you'll notice is the artwork on our boxes are truly just that, artwork. I want to make sure that your investment grows, so that if you buy an ornament, we only do small numbers of ornaments, and then we sunset them pretty regularly, so that hopefully any ornament that you've bought from us, the value of it will grow. Years ago, my husband and I started a business. It wasn't in the ornament industry. It was in the Food Network type of industry. And that's the premise that we did that business. We did short stocks, we sunsetted them. And today, it's been, I think, close to 20 years now. And you can only buy his items on the black market for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I really hope that anybody that does, even if you're not buying the items to collect them, my hope is that they will grow in value, so that if you do hand them down to your children or your family, they'll be worth something. And if later on you need to sell them, you can get your money back and then some. And that's the whole premise behind the way that we do business. Again, we do our own stock. I have things in warehouses so that if you order something and I don't have it here in the United States, I can get it right away to you, so that you don't have to wait weeks for things that you've paid for. That's a little bit of a difference about us. And then the packaging itself is designed with artwork, so that hopefully that too will be worth something at some point. Inspiration, where do we get our inspiration? Well, we travel a great deal. We've traveled a great deal. We are from Europe. And so a lot of our designs are things that we've seen in our travels, or things that we'd like to have on our trees and decorating. I was telling Travis the other day that my motto is never make anything that I wouldn't mind keeping if it didn't sell. So any of the designs that we put out there, they're things that are important to me and things that I'd love to have. I will tell you, I do get bored with designs very quickly. So it's not unusual for me to have a campaign and then end it right away and start new ornaments going. We have about 650 designs today. I have another, I think 320 that are coming for 2024. I do have two manufacturers that I work with. One is my primary, and then I have one that does some intricate stuff for us with extreme detail. But the primary organization that I work with, I've been affiliated with them from day one, and they're like family. And what I really like about them is I never receive anything that's not top notch. As a matter of fact, I was telling Travis earlier that any of the designs that I design, the organization sends me an STL file, and every single ornament is printed in 3D so that I can see what it's going to look like before it's actually signed off on. And with that, I'm going to have Jen show one of our new designs that's coming out. Kind of unique to the industry, but Jen, over to you.
Hi, so just to kind of tag team off our inspiration, I am wearing a floral fetish shirt, which is inspired by this collection. And I also have earrings on that have flowers. The floral fetish collection has been our hallmark collection as of 2023, and we are expanding on it this year in 2024. So one of the pieces that we've been working on is a finial, unlike anything that we've seen and probably that exists. And so I wanted to present this to you. It is a 3D printed head, and this is the size that it will be when done. So I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully it won't.
A little bit of a glare. Maybe you have to back it up a little.
I mean, it's almost the size of my head, just kind of, and I have a big head.
Not that big.
Yeah. So it's hard to see, but you can see the floral detailing on the sides. The camera is being a little bit weird, but this is the overall design. She will have some flowers underneath, and in the back, the hair is also floral. So this is a piece that we will be releasing hopefully by the end of April. But that is coming in the works to advance our floral fetish collection.
So you will see meticulous detail for a finial with bright colors and all of the attributes that you're used to seeing with Kenzies, only we're doing something totally different with a finial. And we like to do things that are outside the box. I'm not weird in the sense that it's got to be strange. We just like new. We like pieces of art. And so we're constantly looking for something unique to take you in. So when somebody looks at your tree, they're not just seeing a shape or a molded design. They're seeing a piece of art that draws them to it immediately. Much like you, if you were to visit a museum and something caught your eye, that's what we really are trying to emulate. Did you want to add something to that, Jen?
No, I just think that it's the inspiration of it is not just to give life in the sense of, color. It's more now giving it a sense of life physically, where you're looking at the tree and the tree itself is a living being. It's no longer just decorated, but it's now we're giving it new life where you're connecting with it more than just a holiday piece, more than just something that you do every year. We're trying to create pieces that give it life and give it a story, and that you can interact with a little bit more than just seeing shapes on a tree.
And to the point of floral fetish, for those that don't know, about a year and a half ago, I met a man from Amsterdam by the name of Menno Kroon, very well known in the fashion floral industry. And he came over to my booth, and we just connected. It was as if I had known him all my life. And he also is a big proponent of some of the social causes that I stand behind and I believe in. And he and his partner came to the booth, I don't know, somewhere around 10 a.m. I think it was close to 8 o'clock. The show had ended, and we were still there, locked in to our discussion. And so he has worked very integral with me to give his input on some of the floral designs and some of the intricacies that he sees things in flowers that I've never seen. And so we've worked very closely. We did a line exclusively for him that we will not sell in Amsterdam at all, other than to him. You can buy them in other countries, but you can't buy it there. And we continue to broaden that line and add to that line. So unlike some of our other campaigns that we had, that we started out with, the floral fetish will continue. It's funny, in Germany, the TV station said to me, "We've never seen a Santa like this. What's the deal with this?" And I said, "I got news for you. If Santa were to visit me today, he better not be some fat guy in a red suit with just a pack over his back. He better bring the goods. And I said, so this is what my Santa, how I envision my Santa being somebody who's flamboyant, somebody who's out there and has color and is happy. He brings happiness. I look at some of the Santas sometimes and I think of poverty.
And he's
And I remember
Santa. He's not a scary Santa. He's a handsome.
that's right.
You want him to come
That's
down the chimney.
That's right. That's right. And a little secret, I'll tell you a story. We've taken that to the umpteen level in that also in April we are releasing a very progressive Santa. I like to call him my tattoo Santa, my tat Santa. And I'm excited that he's bringing us another step closer to a modernized Santa. So that's really it. That's where we're at with Kenzies of London. We are always looking for nuances and brightening up some of the traditional designs. We have, I think, as far as traditional, we have our general animal generals that we did a modern spin on something that's traditional with animals. Big animal lover here, sit on the board of directors of a large rescue in the Northeast. And so we do give a portion of our sales to animal rescue. We do believe very strongly in social causes, and more info to come on that in the future, where you can also participate in that. And I promised Travis I wouldn't say anything other than that. But Jen, anything else you could add about Kenzies of London and where we're going and what differentiates us?
I just think that, like everybody said, our focus was never to be something traditional. And even the most traditional that we do have, the animal nutcrackers, that's about as traditional that you'll see from us. Even in our own Christmas decorating, we've never had really a lot of Santas or a lot of anything that was traditional. We've always gone off the beaten path. And we like things that are new and novelty. That's just how we are. We're future oriented. We're looking to see things that inspire us and create off of that. So if you do see something traditional from us, it's not going to be in the sense that you've seen it before. It will be something that's different. It's unique. It will have bright color. It will have something about it that's jarring, that piece of it that's definitely not traditional. So that's never been our focus. It's not who we are as a brand. We're just really looking to see the stuff that inspires us and wanting to share it with everyone else.
And we take ideas. And we take ideas. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
I was going to say, and we take ideas from our customers. I can't tell you the number of designs people send our way and say, hey, what do you think of this? Do you think we can do that? The answer is yes. Why not? If it's important to you, let's do it. Let's get it out there. I can tell you that 4 weeks ago when we were in Germany, one of the largest conglomerate of I would say, I don't want to say malls, but I'd say an iconic store came by, and I think she was one of the top buyers, and she said to me, I've never seen anything like this. And she said, this is exactly what we need, nuance, something that evokes holidays and happiness. And so that's really what we'd like to do. And if you have ideas and things that you'd like to see, reach out to us. Chances are the answer is yes. So
Art is a community effort. And so if you have an idea or you think, hey, what if you did this with our design? We're open to it. We're not, even though we're doing something different, we're listening. I mean, give us ideas if you think it could be better. We're open to it. We're not here to say we're the experts at this and we know it all. We don't. We're just playing around in our own sandbox, things that we like.
I love that.
good point.
I love your generals, and I bought all of them. The Kensington Guard, I think, are whimsical. But what I really appreciate about those are the faces. the detail of the faces and the way you mixed acrylic with I don't know what the mirrored paint, um, it's just pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're
And
pretty neat.
you know, and I love those faces. I just think that they're just stunning.
Thank you. I'm excited about them. We actually just launched three new designs. We did a possum, we did a raccoon, and we did a bear. And I think they're working on a skunk as well. So we should have them shortly this week. I have 3 pallets coming to my warehouse in Florida. And so I'm excited to see what they sent me. And then we'll be making those things available to the team. One other thing I want to point out too is we don't just do molded design, we do shapes, and I can't release the pictures of them yet, but we do have some new ones coming, some pretty wild designs. One I call Rushes of Kisses, and because it's a unique design, it's got little lips all over it. Um, we don't just want the traditional designs that everybody else is doing. We want to make sure that you have something unique. So in the next couple of weeks, just wait and let me know what your thoughts are. Some of the things that are coming out. Pretty excited about them.
I've seen it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
But I'm not sharing.
No worries. No worries. Listen, people always ask me, well, aren't you afraid, somebody's gonna steal this? And I said, absolutely not. I don't live my life like that. I don't copy anybody else's designs. I'm not worried about anybody else copying my designs. At the end of the day, we are all unique in what we bring to the table. I got to tell you, if you were to ask me today, what are some of your favorite designers? I got to tell you, I love Harris and Company, especially their new colorful designs. I love some of the stuff that Chris Radko did a number of years ago. Um, I think he revolutionized the industry. He really did. Um, Mitch with Majesty Glass with his designs. I got to tell you, I love them all. And I think there's a spot for every one of us and the art that we bring. And I support them. And if there's anything that I could do to, help them or further them, I'm right there for it. We're all just people doing what our passion is, right? So that's really what my passion is.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Mitch, you got a plug.
Is he on here? I've never met Mitch.
Oh, he's
Yes,
on there.
he's here.
Yeah.
I gotta see. Listen, I love your designs, Mitch. I think you're revolutionizing the shapes, and I love your designs, and I love your patterns on your designs, and I can't wait for you to be in the spot so I can watch
Well,
you
thank
and
you so much, Debbie.
hear your story.
I appreciate that so much. And what you said is so awesome because I'm the same working, like you're doing what you love and I understand that. So I support you 100%. And the cool thing about it is everything you've said about you're doing, stretching it to the modern and I'm doing completely the opposite. I'm going back to the old school. So that's a great, really united marriage there. So I'm so excited to see where your future goes as well. So thank you so very much for the compliment.
Yeah,
I'm
I love
I'm
your stuff, and I'll tell you that a couple of months ago, I think it was Mary, when you first started to show some of your items, she had a table set with
yeah.
um, your shapes on it. And I remember, and I'm a dish person. I always tell
Mhm.
people if the dish wants to see the world, it needs to come to my house because I love that kind of stuff. I really do. And I remember I saw that photo, and normally I would zero in on the table setting, but I saw the designs and I ran and I got Jenna and I said, look at this. And she said, which one are you looking at? Are you looking at the ornament? Are you looking at the table setting? And go, no, the table setting's beautiful. I said, but look at this ornament. And so much so that here we are, I don't know, maybe 8 months, almost a
Yeah.
year late.
Yeah.
And I still remember.
Oh, thank
that.
you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Well, I think you and I both share the sort of the passion, but yet the insistence too on detail. Because like that sweet toy chest that you did, I have that, and the detail to that, and I bought that simply because the story of it was so great. But what a beautiful ornament, and you and I both are very like it has to be done correctly, and it's that detail, it's the devil's in the detail that I really appreciate about your work, because it's beautiful. So
thank you. Thank you so much. Well, ditto, right back at you. You know, I'm going to tell you that story real quick because this was a peculiar thing. But before I do, I just want to say that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Timothy, and God, what is Timothy's last name?
The Clue. The Clue.
Yes.
Yes.
That's him. His stuff too moves me. He's got a lot of fish designs and a lot of old world. Love it and love him. But I'm going to tell you my story about the toy box. So when I first met my manufacturers in Poland, I said to them, hey, listen, I want you to design a toy box. It's got to have, it's got to have this, and this in it. And I'm going to give you free reign. Go ahead and do it. Well, those that know me, that about 6 years ago, my oldest son passed away unexpectedly. And he was a wrestling promoter. He was larger than life. And he was very, very, very close to my youngest daughter. And before he died, she had had a toy growing up that she absolutely loved. And the thing honestly needed to be buried. It was so dirty and it had lost its head, and we stitched it on and put eyes. And anyway, long story short, before my son passed away, for Christmas, he found that same exact rabbit. And it was a unique looking rabbit. It was honestly, in my opinion, ugly, but the kid loved it. And so he found this toy again. He spent a fortune and he gave it to her for Christmas. Well, you can imagine my surprise. Nobody knew this. Nobody knew that that was her favorite toy in the whole wide world. And nobody knew that it had a sentimental value to her. So when the toy box comes back from Poland, guess what they put in there? They put the identical white rabbit that Eric had gotten for her before he passed away. Well, I almost passed out. I looked at this and right away, I got hot flashes. And I said, I can't believe this. This is an iconic looking rabbit. This is not your traditional white rabbit. And there it was in the toy box. So as a matter of fact, when Menno came to my booth a couple of years ago, the first thing he did was walk over to that toy chest. And he said, oh my God, this is beautiful. And I said, oh, well, let me tell you the story of that. Well, he started to cry. And his partner started to cry. And anyway, needless to say, I absolutely love the man. I love his partner. As a matter of fact, a little secret, one of my boxes has his partner on the front of the box because he's beautiful. So we did him as a Renaissance man and we had him painted on our box. But as far as the toy chest is concerned, that one's really special to me because nobody knew that. Nobody knew about that rabbit.
It's a great story.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have any questions for us? I wish I could tell you that Mitch had gone first because then I would be able to emulate his talk.
No,
but
that's what I'm doing for you, Deb. I'm glad that you're first, so I can figure it out.
Well, I'll be on yours, don't worry. But any questions from anybody that I can answer? And listen, if you do get into this business and you need some help and you need some guidelines, call me. Reach out to me. Listen, I'll help you do anything, be successful, truly.
That's awesome.
Ellen, you had a question?
I do. Thank you for this. It was great. The last thing I expected based on the name Kenzies of London was to hear that you're your Italian background. That's really fascinating to me. You married a fabulous Brit. I heard that. So where did Kenzies of London come from? Can you talk a little bit about the name?
Sure. So I worked for about 5.5 years for a British celebrity by the name of John Frieda. And after I left working for the Manelli team, I went to work for John Frieda as his personal assistant. And I spent a tremendous amount of time in London. And then I also did disaster relief in my nursing career. So I spent a lot of time there in third world countries, and worked with a couple of our former presidents bringing aid overseas. And so I spent a lot of time in Kensington, in London, and then I had a couple of Scottish Terriers, and one of them's name was Mackenzie. And because I had spent so much time in Kensington, London, and actually showcased a lot of my designs over there, that's where Kenzies of London came from. And I'll share this with you. My husband, like I said, really truly is a Brit, just like I'm first generation here. He's first generation here. And we spent a great deal of our time in London. As a matter of fact, for a while there, I was spending more time there than I was in the United States. So it seemed natural to adopt the British end, because that's where we were for so long.
Any other questions?
Anything else?
It's actually not a question. It's a comment, and it's a congratulations to you and your team, Deb. What you're doing right now is absolutely forward thinking. It's wonderful to have fresh, crisp, new ideas. I do want to just kind of mark this for a second. I may have said this before, but it really feels like we're going through a renaissance in the glass collecting industry, unlike anything I've ever seen. I've collected for 29 years, but those kudos in my book go to folks like yourself at Kenzies, to the good folk at Glesser and Leyden staff, Mitch with Majesty, Antique Baubles. For the longest time, there were no other brands, or at least the other brands weren't talked about. And the fact that we're celebrating this diverse group of ideas and concepts, I think is wonderful.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And that's why I said there's plenty of room for all of us. Listen, there's somebody that's going to come on the scene that's going to do something even different and out there. And we should really be embracing them, because just like, I was very fortunate that I was raised in a family that made importance of certain designs and what have you. For my kids alone, when my kids were born, I would buy them ornaments, and now they have quite a collection. And of course, they've evolved in their designs, and some of the things that they have now in their arsenal of collections is unique. But that's why when I look at everybody else's designs, I'm taken in by it. I think they're beautiful, and there's plenty of room for all of us. And I would venture to guess that there's probably somebody on here that might be the up and new coming designer of the future. We should get behind them and support them. So that's my take.
It's not me.
It's not me either.
It might be Travis. It might be.
Hey,
I can only help people, on advices how to hide it from their husband, and the excuses, right? That's it.
We need that. We need a lot of that. So very important.
I got you. And the only thing I can help with, so I do defense and defense and aerospace, so I can deal with the logistics, right? I'm good at it.
Everybody plays a part.
Yeah.
I was telling Travis and Eggs and Jim earlier, every year my husband goes away for his mancation, and it just so happens it started today. And so I was telling Travis and the team that I started my morning jumping on the bed, eating chocolate. I've already been to the mall. It's really funny. This is really my vacation. And little does he know, all of my pallets are coming this week. So before he even gets back after a week, I guarantee you they're all going to be in place. And that way, when he says to me, "Where did these come from?" I'm going to be able to say, "Honey, I've had them. I've had them."
That old thing.
Timing is everything. So
Not us drinking whiskey at 6 a.m.
Oh yeah, that's a story for you. But listen, one thing I do want to say is, I'm on Facebook. If you ever have a question, if you ever need something, if you ever want help getting something, or you want to get started and I can help you, please call me. I'm pretty transparent. I have an open door policy. call me. Be glad to help you out.
Thank you.
Jim?
Yes, I just wanted to say that my partner's in the room, my spouse is in the room. So any of this conversation we're having about things just appearing, that's exactly the story. And I need us to stick to that. If he should check in with any of you, that's exactly what happened. Right, Scott?
You're right.
You will always deny it under oath. That's what I tell my husband. Under oath.
Well, your secret is safe with us, for sure. We've all been there.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have a spouse, but I got a family, and it always amazes me. I think they're not paying any attention at all to the ornaments on my tree. And then they come over after it's up every year, and they're like, you know what? These are looking like I didn't see those last year. And I'm like, no, you did. They were totally there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that we turned the tree this year.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I always say that those boxes on the front porch have been there for months. I just thought to bring them in. So you just
There
have
you go.
to front.
And there are so many. We need tree after tree after tree after tree.
Listen, we all have our vices, right? We all could be, doing drugs or drinking or, have other vices. This happens to be a very healthy vice,
Yes,
right?
It's my one vice.
Right.
It's my medical supplies. I use my medical supplies.
I tell my husband, I am a connoisseur of art, and you should be very happy that your wife has such an amazing taste.
There you go.
And you're making an investment for your future. Exactly.
And so he, nowadays he's just like, whatever. I'm like, yeah.
Well, you bring up a really good point, and I'll just mention this again. One of the things that John and I did a number of years ago when we started the other business, we had no idea it was going to go viral, and it went viral very quickly with the designs that he did. And a lot of times I'll see his stuff on WorthPoint or on eBay or Etsy, and I'll jump on and mention, hey, that was one of 3 that we did, and here's the story behind it. And you can't buy a lot of those items anymore because he's one of only 3 people in the United States that know how to do this particular designs that we put out there. My hope is anything that you get from Kenzies will come back to you, so that if you invest today and we sunset something, it's really done to protect you so that it grows. There's only a certain number of the designs that we put out. There's never 100 of anything. There just never is. And I can tell you, it causes some interesting dialogue with my manufacturers because I refuse to buy 100 of anything. And, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that anything that you do get has some value and will be worth for you. If not just taking it in because it's special, knowing that you're one of the ones that has this. And I think that, Mitch, you do the same thing with your items. You're really particular on keeping your numbers low. Yeah. And out of the gate, if you get them, you get them. And if you don't, you're not promised of them being made again. And I commend you on that because I can't tell you the number of people that I appreciate, their support, and I hope it comes back to them and it's worth something for them. And that's all I got, guys.
Any more questions? Okay.
Thank you.
It was really
oh my gosh, I cannot thank you both enough. And I cannot sing your praises enough. And I hope you know how much we appreciate spending your time with us today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you how much these groups really mean to me. Excuse me.
Actually, can we put it up, Jim? We have the raffle.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
While he's setting that up, I just want to announce to everybody that we are having a limited sale on our website to just kind of celebrate this first Bauble Talk.
Oh, fun.
So knocking things over on my desk.
Oh, wow. It's like Wheel of Fortune.
There it is. So we are having a sale until Friday of this week. I do believe it's the 17th or 15th, I think it is. But just to let you know, we are having a super discounted sale on our garlands and some of our more expensive items. And to check that out, because we never have them that cheap. So just to let you know.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Have I forgotten anyone's name in the drawing here?
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Wonder why I did that. Jeez, Jen.
Consider it my official resignation with immediate effect.
Funny.
All right.
Everyone's there.
Are you ready?
We're
Go
ready.
for it.
Let's do it.
Let's
so
do it.
nervous.
All
So
right.
nervous.
Good luck, everyone, or as I say in my business, break a leg. All right, here we go.
Fly high.
Well,
Yay!
There you go.
yay,
Hey.
Yay!
fantastic.
Hey, Travis, could you
Yeah.
do me a favor? We will send out Sheila, if you could get me her address, we'll send out the set to her. And then the other 9 people on here, if you could send me their address, we'll send them out one of the 2, Bart Black, so that they too have a beginning of their collection as well. So I'll just need,
Oh my gosh,
yeah, so
that's so
I'll
good.
just need everybody else's address. If you could
Thank
send
you,
it to me.
Debbie.
Shut the front door.
Debbie, that's so generous. Thank
What
you.
the
Nice.
heck?
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you so
really
much.
cool.
So
You are very
everyone,
welcome.
So
everyone,
generous.
please DM me your address so I can get that to her. Oh, I'm just floored. Thank you.
So
You're
am I.
welcome.
Hey,
You
and
are welcome.
Mind blown.
real quick. Travis,
Yes.
congratulations on your first Bauble Talk.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
awesome. I'm really
Thank you.
happy for you. I know it was a lot of work.
It
So
was.
thank you for listening and congratulations.
I know when you started talking about Polish ornaments, I came so close to saying, you know, Polish better? Is German better? Talks amongst yourselves.
Well, I think so. I want to say something about that because we are Polish, right? So I grew up with a very strong. Now, wait, I grew up with a very strong affinity for them naturally, right? But one of the things being in these groups has done for me is really expanded my collection. Like, there's a lot more German on my tree. Thank you, Mitchell, who makes a lot of his ornaments in Germany. And more, there's going to be more Italian. Like, I can't think of good reasons why I haven't diversified.
Well, I
So-
think for me, I actually have a lot of Polish because that's where I gravitate.
Yeah.
You know, and so I see why Kenzies makes them there because, you know, so many of the lines we love come from them. So,
Well, let me just tell you this. I won't tell you who makes my ornaments, but I will tell you that the folks that do make my ornaments, I absolutely love them. And it really is a partnership. And so much so that our next conference, we're all getting a big Airbnb and staying together because we really like each other so much. And one of the things that I really cherish about them is I can send them off a design, and no matter what I send them, they make it look great. They always make it look great, and they take the time and the quality to put it together. So that's where my affinity has come from. But I got to tell you, I've seen Mitch's ornaments, and they're nothing less than fabulous and equally as beautiful. So.
No, thank you, Deb. I was going to say too that something I really appreciate about your work
Bless you.
is I appreciate the fact that you are insistent on detail, because that's me. It's just like, you know, and you know, kudos to you, because I also think this: when you're doing the right thing, you meet the right people. Correct?
100%.
And for you to have a team like that, I mean, that's important because they do become family and they are listening to your instruction. But the finished product, regardless of how talented your team are, is only as good as the designer is. So kudos to you for having the eye to know what you're always looking for, and so cool that you found people who can deliver it.
Thank you.
As you well know, and I keep telling people this, it's the hardest thing in the entire show is to find the people who can make it the way you want it made. You know, that's
exactly true. That's true. And I'll tell you one quick story. When I was in Germany, not this time, but a couple of years ago, I met a woman who I saw her designs, and they were cute. She did a lot of birds and what have you, and I was going to order from her. And he's adorable, or she's adorable. And I found out after the fact that, and I was going to order a tremendous number from her. And I found out after the fact that she was making her stuff in China. And one thing I feel very strongly about is that my ornaments come from Europe, and they're made a specific way with quality, and nothing against our Asian partners, but you will never get an ornament from us from China. And so I've taken the hard way of making sure that every one of the designs I sell now are mine. I own the molds. I design what those molds look like, and if I ever fire a group, those molds come with me. So I feel very strongly about that.
We love that. We feel the same way.
Absolutely. It's rather like supporting a family, isn't it? In so many of these cases, you're supporting small business, but you're supporting families, because a lot of these companies are somehow related to cottage industries. So I think that's beautiful. I'm so grateful.
And you know what? It's a dying art. There's not, these new companies are not springing up from Europe. These are families that have been doing this for forever. And that's why, I have nothing but the utmost respect for John Hurris and what he brings to the table, because they've been doing this for forever. Nobody's going to tell me that they're not masters at what they do. And for no other reason. I think their designs are great and they're beautiful, but listen, those are true artisans, and they have our support 100%.
I think we should all also offer a round of applause, please, for our hosts, Mr. Travis and Ms. Agnes, for your great leadership, and for
Agnes.
I have been behaving today, Travis.
Exactly. She said I could call her Agnes once, so I just used.
This is my hidden personality, one of the three.
Ags, we love you, and thank you to both of you and to the entire group for letting me come on board as just a voracious collector, right, Scott?
Absolutely.
Never mind. Shut up, Scott. I'm not a collector. They all appeared as gifts on my front porch. I don't know what you're talking about. It's totally what happened.
That's what happens when you make a good friend.
No, shh.
Yeah, right, Jim. Right, Jim. Somebody just dropped this off at my house one day, and I was like, "Where'd that come from?"
You're welcome, Mitchell.
Yeah.
And listen, I have zero shame in my game that I said I have zero shame in my game that my tree is still up. I'm not gonna deny it. I may just leave it up. I don't know.
I put mine up just for Bauble Talk.
Sure you did.
And if you believe that, I've got a bridge for sale too.
So real fast, because I know that everyone wants to get to the red carpet coverage. But I do want to say about just a funny story. So a friend of mine came over and we ordered a bunch of Kenzies, and she had it shipped to her house. And she thought she was being so sneaky. It arrived and she goes, "Oh, my husband's not going to see it." And she picks up all these boxes off the front porch, and the little Ring camera goes off, and she hears this voice. What came today?
Oh, no.
I get that. Oh my God. And then this actually did happen to me as well. And I told my husband, only a man could have invented a damn camera.
right? A doorbell camera, right?
You
So
see,
she
I
got
work
got in
on
hot
the
water. She thought she
car.
was gonna sneak him in, and she did.
Scott keeps saying
You
to
see-
me, we should get a Ring camera, and I'm like, I don't really think
No,
we live in a really great neighborhood, Scott. I don't think we need
Exactly.
I have 3 dogs. People cross to the other side of the street because they're afraid to walk on the sidewalk by our house. I don't need a camera.
Or here's another option: stay single, and it's nobody's business. So there's that.
Or marry somebody like I did, who is just as bad as I am.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Well, it's been agreed yesterday, not kind of agreed by me, that Kent is adopting me, so I'm good.
Right.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Mitchell doesn't want me, so Kent will adopt me.
Kent has more room. Kent has a lot more room
I
than I
don't
do.
care about the room. I care about the ornament.
Kent, if I get in trouble for anything I've admitted here, Kent, I'm on my way as well.
Come on over. I'll bring in the orphans. On that note, Deb, can we do an ornament of eggs, like little mini glittered eggs that we can hang on our tree? That would be nice. Just a thought.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Send me your artwork. Consider it done.
I'm all over an Agnes ornament.
Jim, when you do a screenshot of a conversation on Zoom, does the phone notify you?
Well, I'm slightly cynical that Travis isn't. I mean, that this isn't Travis. Aren't you all?
Yes.
No. I'm assuming the model for that is the same model for the tat Santa.
No, but you know what? If you had tats, honestly, you could claim, you could absolutely claim that was your twin, honestly.
I've seen the model for the tats, and yeah.
I mean, we take inspiration from things that we see in real life. So it's, we're not saying it was you, but like there's glasses.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, promise that's you. Sorry.
Well, this was white until I started Jolly Holly. Now, after I started Jolly Holly, this has gone all white.
I'm telling you, we're going to have to call that Travis Tat Santa. Because honestly, I will post pictures of it. It's not done yet, but I'll show you the artwork. It is incredible. It looks.
I can't wait to see it.
It really does. It looks just like you.
Oh God, I'm flattered because I've seen the model, so that's why my camera is tilted up a little.
Yeah, mine too. Same reason.
Oh, again, everybody that showed up today, that's been here, thank you so much.
And don't forget to get your address to Travis so that we can send this out to you, okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.